Welcome to a journey where simplicity becomes beauty. In this opening scene, we step into the philosophy of minimalist garden design, inspired by centuries of Japanese tradition. Here, less is never empty. It is a canvas for peace. Imagine a quiet garden with open gravel spaces, a few carefully placed stones, and a single pine tree casting shadows at dusk. This is not about filling the space, but about allowing the air, the light, and the silence to breathe. The art of Japanese simplicity invites us to see beauty in restraint, where even one lantern or one bamboo fence carries meaning. Let's explore how designing with less can actually create a more powerful, tranquil outdoor sanctuary. In the world of Zen-inspired gardens, emptiness is not absence, it is presence. Picture a raked gravel courtyard, each line carefully drawn, guiding the eye toward stillness. A lone rock stands, weathered by time, symbolizing endurance. This uncluttered approach reminds us that peace doesn't come from excess, but from clarity. Japanese garden masters often left large open areas untouched, allowing space to become an element itself. This is the essence of minimalist landscaping, design that embraces silence as much as form. By reducing, we reveal. By subtracting, we highlight. Your garden becomes a reflection of balance, where earth, stone, and air speak louder than any ornament. Water in a minimalist garden design is never overwhelming. Instead of grand fountains, imagine a single shallow stone basin fed by a bamboo spout, its droplets falling with rhythmic grace. This small gesture transforms the space into a meditation of sound and movement. The Japanese call it tsukubai, often used in tea gardens to remind visitors to cleanse their hands and spirit. This detail, simple yet profound, embodies Japanese simplicity, where one element carries deep symbolic weight. In your own space, a small water feature can create serenity without excess. Each drop becomes a reminder that beauty lies not in scale, but in quiet presence. Rocks are the backbone of Zen-inspired gardens, yet they are never scattered carelessly. Each stone is placed with intention, echoing mountains, islands, or guardians of the earth. In the art of minimalist landscaping, fewer stones mean greater meaning. A grouping of 3 may suggest family, harmony, or balance. Their texture tells a story of age, resilience, and timelessness. Japanese design teaches us to see not just the rock, but the space around it, the void that gives it shape. By limiting our choices, we honor the principle of restraint. In this way, rocks become storytellers in a garden that whispers rather than shouts. Plants in a minimalist garden design are chosen with care. Instead of a wide variety, the focus narrows to a handful that embody grace and endurance. A single Japanese maple provides fiery autumn color. Moss spreads quietly, softening stone edges with velvet green. Bamboo sways gently, adding rhythm to the air. This selective approach is the heart of Japanese simplicity, where each plant is given room to shine. By limiting variety, the garden avoids chaos, embracing instead the elegance of restraint. Even in a small corner, one maple tree can transform the season, reminding us that minimalism enhances rather than diminishes natural beauty. Paths in Zen-inspired gardens are not meant to rush the visitor from one end to another. Instead, they slow the pace. Imagine stepping stones across moss, each carefully spaced to guide a mindful walk. This is minimalist landscaping in practice, removing excess decoration so that the pathway itself becomes the meditation. The irregular placement forces you to look down, grounding you with each step. At the same time, the stones frame the surrounding space, revealing views one pause at a time. It is not just a path, it is an invitation to walk with intention, to let the journey matter as much as the destination. Boundaries in minimalist garden design are not walls to shut out the world, but frames to enhance it. A bamboo fence, modest in form, defines space while still allowing whispers of the outside. This subtle barrier reflects Japanese simplicity, where enclosure feels soft, not harsh. Even a low hedge or earthen wall can guide the eye without overwhelming the garden. In Zen-inspired gardens, the frame is as important as the scene it contains. By keeping boundaries understated, attention flows naturally to the stones, plants, and sky within. Here, design teaches us that simplicity in structure strengthens the feeling of openness and calm. Light transforms a garden, especially at dusk. In minimalist landscaping, illumination is never garish or overpowering. Instead, a single lantern placed beside a stone path or a soft glow reflecting on a water basin is enough. This approach echoes Japanese simplicity, where subtle lighting guides rather than dominates. The evening garden becomes an atmosphere of quiet magic, each shadow as meaningful as the light itself. By resisting the urge to brighten every corner, we allow darkness to play its part. In doing so, the garden remains a sanctuary, one where light whispers gently, reminding us that minimalism thrives on balance. In Zen-inspired gardens, negative space is a design element. This is the Japanese concept of ma, the pause between forms, the silence between sounds. In minimalist garden design, empty space is not wasted. It is what gives meaning to what remains. Imagine a broad gravel courtyard with only one pine standing proudly at its edge. The emptiness draws the eye, amplifying the presence of the tree. By leaving space untouched, the garden breathes. This restraint echoes the principle of Japanese simplicity, to value the quiet as much as the form. In doing so, your garden becomes not just seen, but deeply felt. Seating in a minimalist landscaping approach is rarely ornate. Instead, it's an invitation to pause. A simple wooden bench beneath a maple tree offers reflection without distraction. The grain of the wood, the play of shadow, and the sound of leaves in the wind become the experience. In Zen-inspired gardens, seating is not about comfort alone. It is about perspective. Placed with intention, it directs the gaze to a stone arrangement or water feature. By choosing simplicity over excess, the bench itself fades, leaving the view to take center stage. This is the heart of Japanese simplicity, design that dissolves into the natural world. Sound in a Zen-inspired garden is as important as sight. Rather than waterfalls or loud fountains, subtle cues guide the ear. Bamboo clappers, moved by the breeze, create gentle rhythms. A trickling basin adds soft notes of water. These minimal sounds weave into the silence, enhancing rather than overpowering. This is minimalist garden design in harmony, where every detail supports calm. In Japanese simplicity, the absence of noise becomes part of the design. What you don't hear matters as much as what you do. The result is a sanctuary where sound, space, and silence create a living meditation. Seasonal change is essential in minimalist landscaping. A Japanese garden is never static, it shifts with time. A bare cherry tree in winter, fresh blossoms in spring, lush leaves in summer, and fiery tones in fall. Yet, in keeping with Japanese simplicity, the palette remains restrained. Instead of a crowded mix, each season is highlighted by a few chosen plants. The quiet winter garden, with snow resting on moss, is just as beautiful as spring's bloom. By designing for change, the garden becomes timeless, reminding us that simplicity allows nature to tell its story without interference. Each season becomes poetry in stillness. Scale in minimalist garden design is not about grandeur, but proportion. A small courtyard can feel expansive if arranged with restraint. In Zen-inspired gardens, a single stone lantern beside a pine creates depth beyond its size. Gravel raked into flowing lines suggests rivers and seas, even within a tiny space. This mastery of scale reflects Japanese simplicity, where suggestion is more powerful than detail. By designing small but meaningful gestures, a modest garden can feel boundless. Minimalism teaches us that size is not the measure of beauty. Clarity, proportion, and intention are. In this, every garden becomes a universe contained.
Symbolism enriches Zen-inspired gardens without cluttering them. A raked circle in gravel may represent the moon. A single bridge, simple in design, can embody transition from one state to another. In minimalist landscaping, symbolism replaces decoration, infusing meaning into form. Japanese simplicity thrives on this balance, where every object carries purpose and nothing is superfluous. The garden becomes a quiet language, speaking through stone, water, and plant. Visitors may not know every symbol, yet they feel its depth. This is the power of minimalism, creating resonance with less, where beauty is not explained, but experienced.
Thank you for walking with me through the art of minimalist garden design, where beauty lies in restraint and intention. From Japanese simplicity in stone and plant to the balance of light, sound, and space in Zen-inspired gardens, we've discovered how less can indeed become more. Minimalism is not emptiness. It is fullness revealed. It teaches us to value space, silence, and meaning. If you feel inspired to create your own sanctuary through minimalist landscaping, remember, every detail matters when nothing is wasted. May your garden become a place of peace, clarity, and timeless beauty. Don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into mindful design.